Folks, Segasonicfan here. I had to open up my Worx Nail Force 2-in-1 from because I have some kind of jam or something going on, and it's giving me the blinking red light. If we look here, there is some liquidy crap from the previous owner, and I am concerned that that might be what's giving me the hard times. Not sure how liquid got in here. It wasn't from me. But I got this used off of eBay. No! And I did have to replace the trigger switch, which I think I might have made another video about that already. But that's this guy right here, which turned out to be just a cherry switch, kind of standard ones you see in 3D printers. So that wasn't too hard. I figured while I'm in here, though, I might as well do a little rundown. It's some pretty interesting engineering going on here. We've got what looks to be a photocoupler here, which is going to sense the actual locking mechanism of this guy, which basically lets you know that you've closed that and loaded up your nails. We've got a Hall effect board. It's actually printed down there, H-A-L-L. That's the Hall effect sensor, and that goes underneath this guy. So I'm guessing there is obviously a magnetic source inside there. Pretty interesting. Over here we've got our nice bright LED. That's our LED board, just an indicator LED. There's actually two of them, so you can see. Good quality boards in here, actually. And I like this a lot too. The safety trigger actually hits a tactile push button, which is a little unusual even for Worx items. So you have to both hit the tactile push button here and the main trigger, and actually you can see more of this liquid in here. Ugh, it's not good. And that before you can actually do anything. So that's cool. I might have to take all of this out actually and just do a thorough cleaning of whatever liquid fell in here. What else have we got? We've got our main board here. Nice chunky heatsink. Good chunky switch here for the auto mode, the auto nail mode. Nice, good quality board. That's our LED, of course, giving me errors and stuff, which goes to, it's got to have a microcontroller to do that. So, of course, we have a microcontroller down here. And looks like it's all epoxied over, so we don't know what it is. We've got a little voltage regulator, some caps. Everything has got a lot of nice, really good glue, and even looks like there's some conformal coating on this board to protect it from liquid damage. What do you know? Yeah, it looks like the whole thing has, you can see that kind of shininess on it. If I'm not mistaken, this whole board has actually got conformal coating on it. Really cool. Got some nice extra heat sinking stuff on there. On the PCB design there with all those nice views. I mean, I'm duly impressed, as I have been in general with Worx items. You know, obviously you got your big chunky FETs doing all the power driving for the motor. Got your big motor and you got your air compressor deal. And I just need to clean this, figure out what's going on. But yeah, pretty darn cool. Pretty cool stuff. I'm still not entirely sure of the driver element, how it drives it, though. I guess I should take a look at that. Might as well do it on camera. I'm never opened up and worked on nail guns before, so it would seem that there's actually the air compressor pushes out a metal pin there along these rails, but I can't figure out how the screw, or the nail, I'm sorry, how the nail actually loads into those rails, because it actually hits the bottom of this when you close it. So there's got to be a mechanism that loads this screw maybe in this little notch and puts it on the rail somehow. I'm kind of curious how that works. Obviously you can't run this while it's got the case off. It's super dangerous. So might never find out that mystery. But regardless, it's a cool thing to learn about or think about. DC 18-volt motor. Also nice chunky motor. Good piece of tech. I hope I can get this working. Oh, man, working on this thing is a pain. All right, I've got a couple notes, though, I'm just going to make for the disassembly, reassembly stuff that I'm having to do over and over and over again because you cannot use a nail gun when it's disassembled. It is not safe. So expect this piece of plastic to fall out every time that you open it. Also expect this spring and this, which is the safety lever, which hits this tactile push button, expect those to fall out when you open it. This piece of plastic has to be maneuvered to match the opening there. So when you close it, expect having to wiggle that. Try to be careful not to apply too much pressure on the leads for the motor when you take this out, because it is heavy and you do need to set it down, but then it ends up setting down on the motor leads, which is no good. You have to make sure to push in the wires and all the little crevices here. The one that's really badly designed is this safety switch, which looks like it might be rubbing against the safety release lever, which looks like that might be what's causing my problem. In fact, I know the safety release lever is what's causing my problem currently, having looked at other stuff, and that's basically what's happening right now. I'm getting the red blinking light, which is telling me that I have a jam. And it's not so much a jam as it is this mechanism just giving me a really hard time. And you can see this is a little spring-loaded, a very tight spring, so pain to remove. But I've set this basically, from what I could see, was kind of the stock look of it. So I'm not sure why it's unhappy. But you'll see there's this little indentation here in the driver, in the nail driver, and you'll see it's kind of lifted up now too, which is kind of weird. When it reaches that indentation, I believe this is when it's supposed to well, got the nails falling out here. That's quite sensible. I believe when it reaches that is when it's supposed to disengage here, but it's not. So anyway, I have to do some looking at this. I did take a picture of this part, which seemed to be the problem, but I'm not sure what the jam error is. Maybe this is now actually correct, and the jam is something else. In any case, this is how it looked last time it was working, and I took a picture of that from my first video screenshot. This clip angles that way, this clip angles that way, and you can see the curvature here, although the bottom one might be reversed. I don't think it is. And there's a threaded insert that will fall down, which is really annoying. So you have to rethread. If that happens, you have to rethread this screw with this whole assembly upside down. So you use gravity to rethread it. That's really annoying. You can also, though, another trick that I found is use a pair of tweezers like this to press into the gap underneath the two kind of lock washers. I don't know what you would call those, but underneath those two to hold down the threaded standoff type deal that this screw is threading into. Anyway, it's just frustrating because I can't get in there. I'm not going to take apart the screws to get these screws here, to take apart the whole frame, the case, to see what that mechanism is supposed to be doing and how the jam is actually occurring, because those screws are on extremely tight, and I'm sure it's because it has to be airtight. There's a lot of air pressure, and you don't want to mess with that. So I'm just trying to figure out the safety latch here. And also another note, aside from the super bad wiring design, which is really the only big design flaw I've seen in a Worx product so far, this is supposed to obviously wrap around here. It's really not a great design. But additionally, this lever I had backwards. This is really has to be facing like so, or it's not going to get depressed. And that'll happen if you're not driving any nails, but there's no green or red lights, but you're not driving any nails. It's likely your problem's this. There's no sensor to tell you if this is faulty, because that's just a switch, safety switch. And anyway, more to come.